do date nights turn into business meetings? Because if a date night turns into a business meeting, it's not a date night.
Just not
You
anymore.
just had another meeting. And
use
so
it as write-off now.
you can write it off, but you did not connect. I needed you to succeed so that I could stay home.
Right.
And yet I didn't look at it like that. I looked at it as what you were doing would sometimes interfere with what I was trying to do. And it's like, but if the business doesn't work, you're not staying at home, honey.
Right.
You need to go find a job.
To that point too, not offloading it to your spouse.
Yes.
Like, I think I had to learn that.
Yes, you did.
She's trying to, I'm going to preach to her. And she's
Yes, you had to learn that.
You're not going to be successful in business if your marriage sucks.
Yeah.
Like if you're struggling at home, like you're going to put more energy in business. So at first it's going to look like it's doing well.
But it's a ticking time
It's a
bomb.
literal bomb that's about ready to explode in your face. Are you a business owner that struggles with growing your business and trying to have a strong marriage at the same time? Do your date nights turn into business meetings? Or when was the last time that you even had a date night? When we first started our business, that failed. We didn't have any boundaries. We weren't on the same page about anything, which in return wrecked everything. And we almost lost our marriage. But starting our new construction business, which we've grown to 7 figures, we have put these 5 principles into play, and it's completely changed the game on business and our marriage. Hey, we're glad you are with us today. I am Ben, and I'm with my beautiful wife, Kristen, as always.
Hello.
We are excited about this conversation
We are.
because we truly believe this is going to help a lot of married business owners. The struggles that we went through in the beginning were insane, and most of it probably was just us being silly and
Dumb.
irresponsible and thinking that we can do it. She has like a business degree, so I was like, oh, she can figure it out, and like, but that was years ago and didn't learn some of the things.
Real life business
Real
is
life
a whole
business
different
is
ballgame
just
than a classroom.
so different.
Yeah.
So we think this conversation will actually help you grow your business and maybe set some things in order, because maybe it feels a little out of whack, or you want to grow but you feel stuck, or maybe you're just like in almost like blow up mode. So we think this conversation will definitely help you. So the 5 things we wish we knew before starting a business together.
Yes.
Number 1
Number 1.
is you are on the same team.
Yes.
The same team is an interesting point, and you would think, of course we're on the same team.
We're married.
We're married, we love each other. But when you start a business, you have to be on the same team. And so we're going to kind of go back and forth with marriage and business together, because they kind of go hand in hand. And maybe you have a business and you guys are currently running it together, or maybe there's a supporting spouse at home, because both roles are very important and they both kind of come together. So being on the same team, whether you're running it currently together or you have one supporting spouse at home, is so important, because the same team we're on, like there's nothing that should come between us.
Yeah. Well, and we can come at it from such an independent, individualist kind of perspective, I guess. And so especially for us starting, it was a painting business back in the day. And I did like the graphic design, I made the logo, I did those kinds of things. And so as far as us going into business together, I felt like very much I just helped you with the things that you didn't know how to do. But then the painting and the customer interactions and the money and all those things was like, that was on you. And so we were very separate. It was you running those things. I let you run all those things. I was in charge of the house with the kids. And it was very much, what do I need? Like, I feel like we both looked at what we needed every day. We looked at our own schedule, our own needs, what we had to do. And the other person just better figure out their stuff, because this is what I have to do. And so it was a very selfish, there was a lot of selfishness in the beginning.
Right.
So we said we were a team. We were married. Hello. We had rings to prove it. But as far as acting like a team, we didn't act like a team. And our perspective wasn't like that. It was, you're on your own. Each one of us is kind of fending for ourselves. And so that brought so much stress, especially when you hit the dips in business and when there's money struggles. And it could be like you kind of carried the weight of that on your shoulders. And then I left you to figure that out because I'm with the kids. And so there was a lot of just, it felt like we were struggling with our own things individually rather than looking at our problems as our problems to
Hmm.
figure out together. And so once now that we come together with those things, if there's a dip in business or whatever the challenge might be in business that week or at that time, we talk about it and we work on like, what can you do? What can I do? What can we do together to figure this out?
Yeah. For me, because I'll speak to myself, and I'm sure people can relate to this because there's going to be that kind of personality clash, right? When it comes to people in business and then marriage. Like I'm a very aggressive, like I got a very, very bull-minded kind of business owner.
Hmm.
That we're going to get it done. We're going to
Very
go.
confident,
Very confident. We're
assertive,
gonna
go
go. We're gonna
getter,
do
get
this.
it done.
But so when I have things that pop up that need to get done, like that needs to get done now. Like there's no like, well, what about dinner and the kids and at home? So it's just like, no, like you need to fix this now. That's how I treated you too. Like, and you're just like trying to do homeschool or you're
Or
doing
we have a
the
church event to go
yeah,
to,
you're
or
like you're completely, social media for the church or this and that. You're like, wait, what? Like, no, I need
yeah,
this done now. And you're like, so that created so much conflict because I mean, I looked at you like as a team member,
a little worker.
a little worker, but not like a partner.
Yeah.
So being on the same team, and then so very selfish ambitions, kind of when we first started,
Mhm.
which it explodes so dramatically when there's a conflict, when something happens in business, if a bad customer or a slower month or just all the things that can happen in business, those things want to explode in your face when you're not on the same team.
Yeah. And then when you have an issue, you look at, speaking on the marriage side of it, I looked a lot at how my own needs weren't being met in the marriage. So I didn't feel like you were giving me attention or you weren't talking sweet to me because you were stressed about business or those kinds of things. So I was always constantly kind of keeping this list in my head of all the things that you weren't doing that I needed you to do or that I needed from you. And so I was constantly, it drove a wedge between us.
Mm,
It like pushed you further away from me,
yeah.
to the point where if you ever even did anything like that, like it turned me into a nag. It turned me into just the resentment that came in, because I felt like you weren't meeting any of my needs. So then why would I serve you? Why would I help you? Why would I do good things for you
Hmm.
when you're not doing any of that for me? And so kind of back to that selfishness,
Yeah.
it was just very individualistic, me looking out for me, you looking out for you, not on the same team
Yeah.
at all.
Same. I mean, it's that right there. Point one, step one, getting on the same team,
Yeah.
same like you're on the same page, same direction, going the same like this. You were all together.
Yeah.
Like we're in this together.
Hmm.
So when the tough times come, like we're figuring out together. And when you can figure it out together in the tough times, like it's so much better to have like your spouse like on the same team with you. Like and then the problem isn't as big or like as daunting sometimes. I mean, it could be like a pretty crazy, I don't want to like downplay what could happen in business, right? Because there's some crazy stuff, right? But it's you it's you're capable of doing it a lot cleaner,
Yeah.
of figuring it out.
Yeah. And that brings you together because it's a cool, you did it together. And I look at, we chose to homeschool our kids, which was a whole journey, and just me choosing to stay at home anyway. But like I needed you to so speaking to those that like maybe you're both not hands on in the business, but you have the supportive
Mhm.
spouse and one of them's kind of going ahead like you were. And I needed you to succeed so that I could stay home.
Right.
And yet I didn't look at it like that. I looked at it as what you were doing would sometimes interfere with what I was trying to do. And it's like, but
Mm,
if the business doesn't work, you're not staying at home, honey.
right.
You need to go find a job.
Yeah.
And so, just kind of back to that big picture, we can just get so tunnel vision on our own needs, our own interests, and lose sight of that. But really, like, that's what makes the marriage beautiful is we're each designed with our own strengths, our own weaknesses, and we should complement each other, work together to fill in those gaps in each other rather than holding those things against each other. It's not your weakness is holding us back as a team. It's like, no, how can we strengthen this together? and vice versa.
Yeah, and so speaking to that, when we go to like conferences, business conference, marriage conference, it's like that same team because we're building each other up,
Hmm.
and then we get to learn together, do life together. So whether you're running a business together or the supporting side, because like I've learned so much from that failure of our first business that the supporting spouse, whether it's the husband or the wife, because sometimes the wife is killing it doing something awesome
Yeah.
too, right? So the stay at home dad thing, don't know, like it's like a whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Nowadays, like um having that strong team is it's a game changer. And I learned that role. That's what I was getting to. Sorry, I was like lost my train of thought there for a sec. But I learned that role of that stay at home supporting spouse is vital
Hmm.
to success of a business because you look at so many different CEOs or business owners that the business crumbles, and a lot of it was because at home wasn't good.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to be successful in business if your marriage sucks.
Yeah.
Like if you're struggling at home, like you're going to put more energy in business. So at first, it's going to look like it's doing well.
But it's a ticking
It's
time
a
bomb.
literal bomb that's about
Yeah.
ready to explode in your face. Like
Yeah.
that's just how that works. And you see it time and time again. So it's like, oh, that's not me, or no, I'm killing it. Like give it time, homie. Like it's gonna happen if at home isn't good with that supporting spouse.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that like my personality, maybe being young and immature, just all the things that, and just like not knowing like that value of that supporting role at home, and how it can really affect the health of your business.
Yeah. And the opportunity that you have as the supportive spouse to really help in that situation. Because even just some practical examples, like when you were starting the painting company, you'd be away across town. I'd be doing stuff with the kids. You'd be way across town, run out of paint. And
Mm,
the only paint store that had what you needed was on our side of
right.
town. So you'd call me, hey, can you go pick this up and bring it to me? Well, that's like a 3 hour journey. That's not like a simple little errand to run, you know?
Hmm.
And so in the beginning, I don't know that you even would ask my help in the beginning because you knew, but then the first few times, like I made you feel guilty about it.
Hmm.
And then eventually it's like, no, this is going to be fun. We're going to make this a fun adventure, even if it interrupted our homeschool day.
Yeah.
The kids came with me. We watched in the paint store. They gave the kids these little paint hats to wear because they were so nice to them. And we got to take a little journey out to go
And
deliver the
because I spent
paint.
a lot of money with them,
And
so
yes, yes.
they,
Oh, you're Ben's wife. You're Ben's kids. Okay. And the kids are like, look what we got,
right.
mom. And so, and that was such a cool thing. And then I got to even explain to Cameron, our daughter, like, see, I'm like, this is what I'm doing as a wife. Like, I'm supporting my husband right now. And so, and she was young, but I took that moment to kind of explain what I was doing and how, yes, this threw off our plan for the day, but this is how we get to serve our husband. This is how I get to serve my husband. We get to serve as a family. Like we're doing this together because the
Hmm.
family is a team too, not just the husband and
Right.
wife. And so practical things like that. Or you'd be rushing home from work to go to a men's church event and you're supposed to bring some food and you don't have time to go to the store. So I'd ask like, what do you need? And we baked cookies. So then me and Cameron are in the kitchen baking cookies. And then
So delicious.
you had cookies to take to men's
Mm,
that night. And so just opportunities like that. Like it's
right.
not every man for himself when you're in marriage. You
Hmm.
are one. Literally you became one when you got married.
Yeah.
And so if you're struggling, I'm struggling. And if I'm doing well, you're doing well. And so treating like keeping that mentality in everything that you do. It's
Yeah.
not about one person winning or losing. If one of us is losing, we're both losing. So how can I do my part to make sure we're winning?
Yeah. And so this brings me to a great segue into number two.
Number two.
Yes. I think so from number one being the same team, number two being on the same direction.
Yeah.
The same team, same direction.
Yep.
And so it kind of segues into like where you started at first. Like this is our first business. Like didn't really want to run errands for me. Like that, it's interruption to that slow process because we started going to like marriage conferences and like realizing like
Getting help.
we were like we were on the struggle bus, and
Yeah.
then so going that same direction where it's like that thought what you said earlier too of if this business isn't successful, you're not staying at home and being a homeschool mom anymore
Yeah.
because now that's not, I have to get a job,
Yeah.
and so do you.
Yeah.
So being in the same direction, same page, on the same team, this is all pushing you towards the goal, which the goal is freedom. Like,
Mhm.
and it's, I know it's like sometimes like a false illusion that like business owners are just like have all this free time to golf and go on vacations across the world, because a lot of times business owners create jobs and not an actual business. But
You're chained to that
you're
thing if
chained
you
to
don't grow
it.
it
You've
right.
created a job for you. So you're
Yeah.
stuck at the desk, you're stuck on the ladder, you're stuck, showing homes, you're stuck selling that product
Yeah.
because you've created a job versus a
You're just
business,
self-employed.
right?
You are your own boss,
Self-employed
but you
means you
still,
still like are tied to a job.
yeah.
So being on the same direction as a team, whether you're doing it together or that supporting role, the focus is that we're creating a business, which then
Mhm.
creates freedom so that we can go to the beach one day.
Yeah.
Like, we're gone.
Mhm.
Or we, go do the U-Haul trip, the Utah trip,
Yeah, we're gonna
or
go.
go to Texas and see our, friends down there, or, because the kids are all about go to Texas right now
Yeah.
because they want to see their friends and go swimming
We
and all
need an
that.
adventure, family
So,
adventure.
but when you can create an actual business, now we're able to have that freedom, that the dream that like people think that every business owner has. But the sad reality is most of us don't have that freedom because we're not on the same team and we're not going the same direction. And so I think checking in often and creating a rhythm is probably really important, and a thing that we learned like a little bit too far down the road, which is why our
Very late.
first business like didn't do well.
Yeah.
Um, so having like little check-ins, which we do we try to do them on Sunday night.
Yeah. And like, what does your week look like? What does my week look like? Where can we come together and help each other? Where are we needing extra help from the other person? And it's seasonal too, right? Because even as we're saying this, like it's not everyone's going to have different goals or different vision or different desires, I guess. So for us, it was creating freedom in our schedule so that we can up and do stuff with the kids during, like I'm already looking for it. So this is August at the time we're filming this, and everyone goes back to school in the beginning of September. Well, like that's when we want to go out and do stuff. Like
Hmm.
that's homeschool freedom because it's like we can go to the beach and it's not packed with people.
Go to the zoo.
Yeah, go to the zoo, like do
Mhm.
all the fun little field trip things, and it's not so crowded. We have the place to ourselves. And so building our life and our rhythms in a way that we can do that, and giving that flexibility for our family. And so keeping like, because that's important to us as we're trying to build legacy and create special memories with our kids they can look back on, either traditions or just fun, unique, spontaneous things we get to do that'll just be meaningful to them.
And I think that because my dad he's always was self-employed. He was a business, but he owned his own business, but he was self-employed because he was always out there doing the actual work. And so always knowing that he was never really able to go and do things like outside of like the weekend
Mhm.
because he was always having to get that job done. I think when I've seen our kids and how excited they are when I'm able to do it too
Yeah.
during the week,
Yeah.
like on a regular like 8 a.m., like not at night.
Yeah, dad's home. Dad
Like,
gets to come. It's
because
like so
so it's
special.
interesting too when they check in with my schedule too
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
What do you got going on today? Like, when are you gonna be back?
yeah.
And then it's at first was like, what are you checking me for? Like,
Keeping
what's
tabs on you.
what do you? But like realizing that like they want to spend time with you, and so being in that same direction as a team, it's like, how can we create that freedom in the business that I or we don't have to be there?
Yeah. And I think as far as like seasonally, so for what that looked like for us in construction, like summer, especially in Oregon, because that's our only sun time, is like summertime then is kind of a grinding season. And so for us, we do what we can when we can, but we know that we're going to want to take advantage of the fall. And so for us, it's like, and now that the kids are older, I can explain that to them and they understand it more. So
Hmm.
it's like, no, dad's going to be busy. This is kind of like a hustle grind kind of season, but this is what it's creating for us in the like later, a little bit down the road, like we're going to get to enjoy this. And so it's sort of like as a family, we come together and then we can support you more instead of resenting that dad's busier right now. We can come alongside and be more understanding and embrace that more, knowing that it's getting us to where we want to be pretty soon. And
Mhm.
so seasonally, what that might look like for your family, it's different for everybody, right?
Right.
So depending on what your priorities are, if you like to travel, if you have family overseas, if you want to, there's some special trip you want to take every year, and just arranging your life in that way, and then your family coming together. And so that means in this season, this is what we're doing so that we can do this. And so, just as things change, and that changes as the kids grow. When they're little, your life will look a lot different than once they're in school, whether you homeschool or public school. And then once you're empty nesters, a
Mhm.
lot of things are going to change.
Right.
So that'll constantly change. And so back to the importance of checking in. What do we need right now in this
In
season?
this
Where
direction,
are
because
we
where
headed right
is the
now?
direct? Because the direction at the end result, the direction is always going to be the same, really.
Yeah.
Like no matter like if you're empty nesters, going to be empty nesters, have kids in high school, whether they're babies, the direction is the direction. Like you've set that path ahead of you. Like where is that at? Is that an exit strategy down the road? Is that just a business that completely operates without both of you even having to maybe check in once a month? Like
Mhm.
where is that direction? Like where is it going?
Yeah.
And so like that's it. So like through the different seasons, like this is like where we're going.
Well, and as like decisions come up, if you have to make a decision about something, running it through that filter,
Right.
is this getting us in the direction that we
Yeah.
want to
So
go or
whether it's
not?
hire,
Hiring somebody.
whether you're
Yeah.
using AI,
Yeah.
whether we're investing into this stock or this crypto or however we're moving the money around because like we're thinking of that direction of where we're trying to head. Because we get caught up in the now. We
Yeah.
get caught up in the day-to-day grind. We get caught up in that instant gratification or satisfaction of like something that we need now when we're not thinking about the full direction of where we're trying to be at. And I feel like you can get there a lot quicker and sooner than where a lot of us actually think we can. We think it's like this years or like, man, one day that would be super awesome or yeah, hopefully or but like there's different moments and different things that you can put into place today that can get you to your goal like pretty soon, pretty quick. But being in the same team, same direction, that's gonna that's gonna propel you there because if you're going different directions,
Yeah.
like
Or competing with each other.
mhm,
That's the thing, which kind of probably goes back to point one too. But just like, how many times do you see that in a marriage of what, like, someone gets an opportunity here and then the other one resents them or that kind of thing? Like, I remember like there was even some of that in the beginning of our marriage, I feel like. And so just certain ones being given opportunities in different areas and then the other one feeling resentment or envy, or just that comparison thing. And so kind of back to the idea that we are one. If you're given something, some opportunity that I'm not given, that's great. Like, I'm so happy for you. I should be your number one fan, biggest cheerleader, not resenting you for that. And so not in competition against each other, even if like, cause even if you're not specifically working on the same business, but you're doing different things, still being supportive and encouraging of each other. Super important.
mhm. Number 3.
Number three,
So same team, same direction, same boundaries.
boundaries
This
or
one,
rules
you're a
or
rule
like
follower.
guidelines that we follow.
You like this one.
I love this one.
I'm gonna let you go.
I
I'm gonna let
love
you start on this
rules.
one because she loves
I
some
know. Well,
rules.
this could go so many different areas. Like, so many things fall under this one. But I just think of like the boundaries that we operate our life by. So for us, like basically, what are the non-negotiables in your marriage, in your family, in your life, and in your business? What are the non-negotiables that you know are essential for the health of your marriage, the health of your business? And so for us, like, we are Christians. And so as people of faith, we prioritize church on Sunday morning. Like, we will not miss church on Sunday morning. There will be a random exception throughout the year where we might be out of town for something. But we're going to find a church in that town to go to on Sunday morning. And so that's a non-negotiable. We don't schedule estimates on Sunday mornings. I don't open up my laptop and start writing emails on Sunday mornings. That's just been something for our health. We prioritize that
Yeah.
as
I
the
mean, for me too, with my business has a separate line, also like equals like cell phone,
cell phone. Yeah.
and then that thing just stays in the office at home, the at home office,
Hmm.
like when I'm on a Sunday.
I'm not responding to calls,
I
text
don't even check it.
messages. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sorry, I just don't.
And even on like social media, like we're not going to be posting on our business, like our business accounts and stuff like that. So that's just one of guarding that time, guarding our hearts on those days. We value that day. And so that's a big one for us.
Yeah.
Another one is, well, date nights, regular date nights, but kind of like you mentioned, like do date nights turn into business meetings?
Mm-hmm.
Because if a date night turns into a business meeting, it's not a date night.
Just not
You just
anymore.
had another meeting.
You
And
can use it
so
as write off now.
you can write it off, but you did not connect on like a heart level or like, because I think that's so much of looking back at why we almost failed in the beginning. Like we lost our friendship.
Mm,
And that's something I so cherish now
yeah.
is that you're my best friend. And we did not have that in the beginning. And you can't cultivate that if you don't spend intentional time with each other
Mm.
and purposing to not just do like a boring. And sometimes in the season, we went through newborn phase. You have to do the little thing at home and you have to get creative with it depending on your budget. If
Right.
you're hitting a low season, maybe it's a McDonald's drive through and a picnic on the blanket in the living room or something. But prioritizing that time and doing something fun, like go do something new together. I remember doing mini golf. What else have we done? Just like random fun things. We actually have a date night tonight. We're going axe throwing. We're
Yeah.
going on a double date with some
I
friends.
like when she comes golfing with me.
I go golfing with him. Yeah. So like do
Well, and
something
we
fun.
go out of like once we got to the place where we could afford it, like going to the conferences and doing like marriage conferences or
Yeah.
business stuff, like
Like a weekend
a
away.
weekend away, and we kind of make it maybe extend it a little bit, a couple extra days, so we can explore that city or
And
whatever.
it's just us. The
Just
kids are with
us,
grandparents.
super fun.
They're having
Like
a great
that to
time.
me, like that's one of our one of the best things that we do. I enjoy that one the
Yeah.
best, even more than golfing sometimes. But if
Wow.
we can bring the golf clubs with us on the trip, like that's
I know.
just an extra
Probably
bonus.
next.
So
But how often do people that helps you like stay on friendly terms when business gets rough, I
Mhm.
think, because I remember that I actually like you. You're not just like
really,
a tyrant boss man, especially if things get tense with business or with finances or whatever. It's like, no, he's still my best friend. He's still my husband. I love him. And it kind of helps me stay. It's just that check. And no matter what the week looked like, I would say too, if you had a really rough week in business and customer relationship, whatever happened,
hmm
purposing that we are not going to talk about that tonight. Right now, we're husband and wife. We're going to enjoy this dinner. We're going to enjoy the movie. We're going to do, just connect with each other
yeah.
and try your best to just push all that out.
Well, to that point too, not offloading it to your spouse.
Yes.
Like I think I had to learn
Yes.
that.
Yes, you
She's
did.
trying to. I'm gonna preach to her, and she's gonna
Yes,
get
you
all.
had to learn that.
No, I think that is the. I'm just gonna. You just got the greatest
Listen up.
unlock right now.
Yeah.
When, especially if it's you guys are one's a supporting role, and the other one's like doing the business, and if you had like the worst day, or the worst week, or it just keeps compiling on each other. Like, what in the world is going on? And then, so that obviously it's consuming your every fiber of your being. And you go home and you just like offload that to your spouse first thing. Total killer. Like, kills the
All
mood.
around.
This kills everything. Because it's just like,
Yeah.
and then because you're fired up, because you're a little bit more intense than you think you are, because it's affecting you so much that like it's like you're just firing hose your spouse with all
Yep.
this stuff, and maybe it's not even a business, maybe it's just like a job thing too, because it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's a little marriage tip for you, like when you come home and just like fire hose and offload to your spouse, like versus like, hey honey, how you doing, or love you, and or sometimes like. You don't. Maybe you don't even need to talk about it.
Yeah. Well, because I think as the spouse, I know when you had a rough day.
Right.
I know the second you walk in the door. And so I can't support you and encourage you and lift you back up when I'm getting fire hosed with all the stuff. It's like, cause that pulls me down.
Mhm.
And then I can't be the support I need to be for you to lift you back up. And so actually Proverbs says only a fool vents his feelings. And yet it's
Oh.
such a common thing. No, because that's the first scripture that God ever corrected me with, because I was a venter. I'm
Mm.
going to tell you everything. I'm going to tell you how they looked. I'm going to tell you what they said. I'm going to tell you the tone they said it in. And I feel like that's all it does is fester that within you because you get all riled up again telling the story.
Mhm.
And then, like, as the perspective of I'm the one in the home with the kids trying to keep it peaceful and sweet and joy filled. And then you come busting in like a bull in a china shop with all this like anger. It's like that instantly changes the atmosphere of the home. And now everybody's tense.
Right.
And so rather than us being able to come alongside you and encourage you and support you and try to help lift that off of you, now we're all stressed out.
Yeah.
And now we're all snapping at each other and everyone's walking on eggshells. And so it just protect the atmosphere of your home and
Mhm.
don't allow that stuff in.
And so even if you run a business together and you're in the office together all day and you're both dealing with that customer or those employees or that job that went bad or that product broke or whatever the situation might be, like when you go home, it's like that's where it stops.
Yeah.
That conversation can happen again tomorrow in the office. You can work it out as and then you go home. Because if I think that's like that tricky boundary of you're in the office together all day, you're
Yeah.
dealing with that stress, and now you're going to your sanctuary, your home, the peaceful place that it should be, but you're still continuing that
You
conversation
didn't clock
from the
out.
car
Yeah.
and it's just that's where you get into that trouble of I just see you as his business partner, work partner. It's like, oh, get away from me. And that's where that I feel like that tension comes from too, a
Yeah.
lot of times is because it just you never leave it at the office.
Yeah.
And like especially if you work together, like it's like you just gotta leave it at the office.
Yeah.
And just like literally not talk about it. Just
Pick it back up again tomorrow
yeah.
after you've gotten a good
There's
night's
nothing
sleep.
that you're gonna be able to do about it, talking about it all day at
Mhm.
the dinner table, getting ready for bed. There's nothing that matters. Number one, cast that thing to the Lord,
Yeah.
both of you,
He's the only one that can
separately.
fix it anyway. So,
Cast it to him,
yeah.
give the cares and worries to him, and move on.
Yeah.
Because you have to protect at home at all costs. Because
Your kids don't deserve that
right. Your
at all.
marriage doesn't deserve it.
Yeah.
Like you don't deserve that in your marriage. It's at the end of the day, you guys are married first, business owners second.
Hmm. And looking at too, because this was a big one that I think was like our downfall, was we hit a really rocky, really, really rocky financial spot. And I was the one I'm at home, so I'm getting the pink envelopes in the mail
Mm.
of the shut off notices, the things taped to the door. There was a repo man walking around our house at one point looking for our car. And we've shared all this in other episodes, but but then you're the one that's out there actually trying to bring in the income. So like you felt the stress because obviously the weight of all that was on your shoulders. And yet I'm at home trying to manage what I can and keep the peace, even though I'm super stressed out, wondering how much longer the lights are going to be on. And it's like, we never wanted to talk about it. We either
Mhm.
never wanted to talk about it because you came in stressed. So I didn't want to bring it up, or I would bring it up. And then you associated me with that.
Mhm.
So then my face basically became a reminder of the financial struggle that we were in. And it turned us against each other rather than us coming together to figure it
Mm.
out together. And so I think both of us, that was never our intention, but we
Right.
didn't know any better. And I didn't see you a lot because you were working extra to try to make the money up so
Right.
that we could pay the bills. So the 5 minutes I saw you, I was like, hey, what are we going to do about this? Because I'm the one getting the notices. And then that was your only communication with me, was me reminding you of the bills.
Mhm.
Like, so I think, and it's important you have to talk about that stuff, obviously, but the tact of knowing when and the way that you communicate and let them come in and take off their shoes first and like maybe plan like, hey, we need to have a conversation. When's a good time for you for us to sit down? That way you can both come in mentally prepared for it. And it's a thing that you're tackling together and reminding each other, we're on the same team. We're in this together. Let's talk about how we're going to get through this,
Mhm.
rather than you're not making enough money or you need to get a job or why aren't you helping with this? Like it can so because it's heated, especially when it's money, and money's like the number one cause of divorce, money fights. And so the way we talk about money is so important. And so making sure that you separate that from your spouse and reminding each other you're on the same team, keep your tone, be so intentional about your tone, the words that you're using when you talk about it, and approach it as we are a team tackling this issue together. And how are we going to move forward? And
Yeah.
we're not accusing anyone. We don't need to get defensive, but this is where we're at, honestly. And now let's come up with a plan together on how we're going to get out of it.
Yeah, and then this is coming from because you're on the same team, same direction, and then those boundaries, it all kind of
Yeah.
falls in line together.
Yeah.
This is kind of why we started with those first two, first, because then when it comes to the boundaries, if you're already on the same team, you know that you've solved that, like, okay, check, same direction, where we're trying to go as a family, as a business, check. Now, to save those and to protect those, we have to set the boundaries in place for us to get to where we want to be.
Yeah.
And conversations have to happen because obviously avoiding it is never the solution and very bad. So
You get more pink envelopes in the mail when
so
you avoid.
setting up those boundaries and those times or those rhythms of like the family meeting or however you want to label it or call it on the calendar, or you can come together and talk about those kind of things, and then just knowing when and where. Like I think the thing is too, like sometimes we act like naive or like ignorant to like how this will affect our spouse, and we know we sh- we know our spouse. Like we know when they're upset, we know when they're angry. Unless you've been married for like a minute, like literally like a month. If you've been
Yeah.
married for like a year, bro,
You share a bed
unless you're living
together.
under a rock
You know.
or like you're never home, you know when they're upset. You know when they're mad. You know if you say this, it's gonna fire them right up. And we intentionally do things like that, I feel like, versus you could have avoided that a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like you could have avoided that. You could have avoided that war if you would have just been patient, said it a different way. And then as you're learning and growing, because sometimes I'll do something that I didn't even realize I did. If I'm all fired up about something, you're like, bro, you just totally like ran me over. I'm like, oh, I did. Like I didn't even wasn't even aware.
Yeah.
But because she knows me when I get fired up about a certain thing, so she knows how to approach me and all that kind of stuff.
I know to wait
Right.
and then I can bring it up. Because
Yeah.
it's not, I think there's also just the figuring out when to let it go, when to just let it go. It's not even worth saying anything. It's not worth bringing up. It's not worth trying to fight them on it or make sure that they know that they wronged me or hurt me. But versus, hey, actually, this has been a problem, or maybe this has happened a few times, or maybe it's a trend you're seeing or a pattern you're seeing. It's okay to bring those things up. You have a right to bring those things up. It's just about how you communicate it. And so when you've done that to me, it's like I kind of wait. I wait till we're in a different environment, especially not in front of the kids. But like, can we talk about this? Because this is what happened. And I know, that wasn't your intention. You probably didn't mean it. You probably didn't realize it. But this is how that came across to me. And then you receive that so much better. And then we squash it. It's not like someone's sleeping on the couch that night
Right.
because of it. We get over it. And I think that's important too.
Yeah. And so with the boundaries, I mean, obviously we can go on for all kinds of different ways, but I'm gonna say this because this will probably be its own episode down the road. But in the same boundaries, you need to set boundaries with the opposite sex in your office.
Say it again.
You need to set boundaries with the opposite sex in
Yeah.
your office.
Yeah.
This
And
is-
customers.
and
all of it.
customers, all of it. Like there needs to be a conversation about it. Employees that you hire, especially being alone and all that kind of things. Like there's things that you should have in place because how many things pop up and we've been seeing the
In the
Coldplay
headlines,
the
it's
Coldplay
insane.
concert and all this
Yeah.
stuff. Like it's not just like that just randomly happen.
And like that idea of like ran off with the secretary, like that's even a thing that people are aware of means it happens way too much.
Right.
That's like an assumption that we have about the workplace and
Yeah.
that's a thing is insane. And so not how it should be. And yet how often does it go that way? Because there was a boundary at some point that somebody crossed or they didn't have
They didn't
boundaries
have
in
any.
place. They weren't even aware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Another
obviously we're not going to get
episode
into
for
that
another
because
day.
that's going to be a whole hour episode, which we'll get into. Um, so same team, same direction, same boundaries. Number 4 is same systems. Now, systems in the house and business, you can actually have both. And not having systems in business, you're doing a lot of things wrong and
Ineffective,
ineffective,
wasting time,
wasting so much
spinning
time.
your wheels.
Not having systems in your household, marriage, you're not going to be making it for very long, or you're going to be struggling so much. So let's
Yeah.
break this down a little bit when we talk about systems. So systems in business, we'll start off with like how our first one failed. When you assume, let's just say that we can figure out taxes,
We can do it. We'll save the money.
save the
Why would
money.
we hire
Why would we
somebody?
hire anybody?
It's just some receipts.
If you didn't go to college to be like a CPA or like have some kind of knowledge in that, like you need a system in place for your taxes.
I took a finance class in college and I thought I'd be good.
I think that's the first year that we did that, right?
I was
And
not
you're like,
good.
oh yeah, we can do it.
Yeah.
And then like had no idea about any of it. Like there's actual like automated things that you literally just put your receipt in, put your invoice in, and everything like calculates for you of like taxes, payroll tax, federal tax, and Oregon we got state tax, and it's just calculated for you, projected taxes you owe, different opportunities for write-offs, like literally does it automatically for you. And so like if you don't have systems in your
Yeah.
business, I mean, that's just a simple one. Shouldn't be. I mean, it is simple, but taxes are like if you're looking at like tax breaks and wondering like if you're trying to figure out this, or you need a tax
Hire
person,
somebody.
hire someone,
Yep.
and implement the systems and the automated things that you can do to help you be successful. We did not do this in our first business.
Hmm. I'm remembering boxes and piles all over the floor of
I
receipts
was
and paint
responsible. I saved
paperwork.
the receipts.
And on April 14th at midnight of like filing through all these things that were now so faded, like the ink was so faded on the receipt, I couldn't even see the date or how much it was for. Like it was mayhem.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can't.
Don't do it.
If you're not a CPA, you need to get a tax person.
Yeah.
And if you're growing a successful business, you need somebody on the outside looking in and telling you what to buy, where to invest, where to maybe you set some money aside
Like
to pay this
strategic
tax. Yeah,
stuff.
like
Yeah.
this is same
Legal
team, same
strategic.
direction, setting boundaries. We're going to a certain destination of this business.
Yeah.
You're going to be on the struggle bus and not get anywhere if the tax situation isn't in play. When it comes to even talking to customers, like there's automated things now, like
Mhm.
CRMs to be using and
The invoicing,
invoicing,
reminders of payment
reminders,
due, all that.
payments, all like if you don't
Put your
have,
notebook and pen away when you go on
please put
talk
your
with
notebook and pen
customers.
away. What are we doing? This is 2025. So having proper systems in your business is the greatest thing that you can do to create freedom.
Because it saves so much time. I think
Yeah.
time's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
And
because I think when we first started, you were the graphic designer, so you would like make a pretty like header on the estimate. I would do all the, estimating and then send it to you to,
to retype
to
it and
retype it
fit
and
it
to
in
like
the
fit it
thing.
into this thing, make and then email it to a
Our
customer.
intentions were good.
It looked nice.
Yeah.
But it's like I can do that
So
now
much
in like
time.
5 seconds and
Yep.
it looks has the
And it doesn't,
logo,
you don't have to
has the
wait for me to
colors.
finish lunch with the kids.
It's instant. I show the customer
Yep.
like right away. And like there's so many like unlocks in business that like I think we could get too caught up in just like the day to day, this is how we've always done it. That there's like a whole new world that most business owners do not tap into. This because it's if you're constantly always behind or constantly always having to like get caught up,
Yeah.
you don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
And I think um this is a tough one for a lot of business owners because it's change.
change. Technology,
You just learned
learning
this.
new s-
I
new
just
new
learned this, and now
apps.
you want me to do this?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because
It's 2025.
this is gonna save you so much more time and do this much more for you.
And then at home, how valuable is it? Like, so this is a simple one, but if you don't have a shared calendar with your spouse, and like, and I love detail, you don't love the detail. So like, you don't get to see my whole calendar because you
Thank the
don't
Lord
care.
for that.
But I do know what's cool about iPhone. You can color code them. And so the yellow color on mine, at least, yellow means family. So if I turn it yellow, it shares it to his calendar. And that has saved so many. If it's like a church meeting we both need to be at, if it's like our double date we're going on, if it's those kinds of things, the kids have something going on, something that like he needs to be present at, or this is going to directly affect his schedule that day, I turn it yellow. And it's only, like I said, it's only the stuff he actually needs to know because I put so much more stuff on mine. That's just personal notes for me every day. But a shared calendar is a big deal. We have a shared note now in the notes
That's fun.
app of
Yeah.
like, we write down little ideas for episodes.
Updates, you
And
did it. It was kind of
yeah,
cool.
and how many fights are avoided, or not even fights, but just misunderstandings or miscommunication, or I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not, I told you we had this thing and you get home and you weren't prepared that we were going to this thing, or you don't get home when you should have to go
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't remind you that that was going on. And then with the notes, how many, like, wait, what are we doing again? What are we
Mm-hmm.
talking about again? It's like, no, just look at the note. So, like, those kinds of systems have been in the household are super valuable. So, it's just practical things you can do to set up in your life, make things run more smoothly, more efficient. If grocery orders, like reordering the things that everyone's gonna need for the week, having a little
Mm-hmm.
grocery delivery scheduled, curbside pickup
Yeah.
is my best friend. So
Yeah, there's too many systems out there now, automated things and things that can literally help you from grocery shopping to ordering supplies for your business. Like
yeah,
there's kind of no excuse anymore.
yeah,
Actually, when we talk to business owners, it's like,
you don't do that.
"Why why are you doing that still?"
Yeah,
Like you
it's just
miss.
more work than you need to be
And then
doing.
when you need a service from another business and then you see all their flaws, you're like, that AI could do that
You
for
need
you.
help.
Like, why are you not
Yeah,
why do I have to wait? Like, there's so many things that it could be automated in different systems in your business that can just take you literally to the next level. And this is kind of where so our first business, like we didn't have anything really in place and just always struggling, always trying to like just kind of just make it. Where now it's like everything we do is automated, and I'm learning even more. So like as I'm learning
it's gonna
more,
get better.
it's getting better. It's
Yeah,
like, dude, they can do this too, or now, or I'm changing, or I'm upgrading, or I'm going to this software now because it does even more faster, better. Like it's just like, what are we doing? Like why are we struggling? If
hmm
the end goal is for freedom, so we can hang out with the kids and we can go to the beach when we want, we can take a trip to Florida, like, I need things to be doing it automatically.
yeah,
I need things to be just happening while I'm not there. Well,
yeah,
this same systems is key to that. So obviously when we're on the same team, we got the same direction, we got the boundaries set. Now we're cruising, we're doing our thing. But then but we're stuck doing all these like day-to-day tasks and stuck having to fill out invoices or stuck having to chase down this bill or get this customer to pay this invoice. It's like, no, you don't. That just gets sent out automatically, and then it harasses automatic. This is the thing that I love so much.
reminds, gently reminds.
Oh, I set mine thing to
Harassment,
harassment.
harassment mode.
Once it's like
Every hour on the
past,
hour.
like 5 days, like it's like, yo, like
You're late.
you're late and it's time to pay up. So and it does it all automatically, and then boom, get the email. Oh, look, they paid. That's awesome. Look,
Yeah,
and
you
then
didn't have to stress
taxes
about
get
it.
filed. It all just automatically just like kind of flows into place where we're not guessing. We don't know what our profit and loss statements are. We're not like having to scramble to figure that out, because if you're growing and you're doing things like banks and different things, they want to know numbers. They want to know. That was
Yeah,
one of the things, like not knowing like our
I don't know how
numbers and
much we
stuff.
make.
Like I don't even know. Like
I
so
don't
it's like
know.
making it
We
finally
paid our
make
bills.
you finally made a spreadsheet and you're like tracking everything. Like, oh wow, that can actually making pretty good money. It's
Or
like,
you look at it and you're like, that looks like we made a lot of money, but where is it? And
Right.
you're like, oh, we need a budget.
Right.
We should be tracking these things. So
Tracking everything.
yeah,
Yeah. So putting systems into place in your home, whether that's like even system as like a date night system too, like whether you try to do it. We saw a really cool one with a couple. They do their goal is a one date a week, and then they mark it if they made it or didn't make it.
yeah. And
And
they note what they did so they
right.
can look back and like
So
see
that
all
when
the
the
stuff.
year is up, they can see where they're at. And then they screenshotted it and they missed a
Yeah,
lot, but they still did a lot.
yeah.
So it's like, well, I
Or they'd
mean,
take a vacation for a week.
right.
And
So
so
it's just that was being intentional about some of those things too for those systems to come in place. And maybe you don't hit them all, but
it's a
at
goal.
least it's the systems in place so that you can see. And then the goal is that the next year you'll be better. So
Another one is someone, because babysitting can be a thing for people. They said they had a babysitter on retainer.
mm,
So it was like every month on the 18th, like here's our babysitter, or like the second Friday of every month, they had a plan with the babysitter. You're ours that night. We have a date night, and so the babysitter's coming, whether you know, like whether you have a plan or not. And so
right.
here's the babysitter. Okay, now let's figure out what we're doing. Like get out of the house.
Yeah.
And so it
Go
kind of forces you almost to make sure
Starbucks
that you
date,
take the time.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Love it.
Okay, so same team, same direction, same boundaries, same systems, and the final one is same support.
Support, huge.
This was the final crumble of our
The
business.
straw that broke
The
the whole camel.
the whole camel just
Not just his
collapsed.
back, his ankles, his knees. It all
So
went down.
having so in business, having a business coach,
Mentorship.
mentorship together, doing it together,
Yeah.
I think was our biggest game changer in business.
It changed everything.
It changed our perspective on business. It changed our growth strategies. It changed even just like some of the systems.
It
It
opened up
changed,
opportunities
right?
that we never would have even
It
seen.
changed. So like it changed, check this out. It changed our systems. It changed our boundaries. It changed our direction. And then obviously like, we're on the same team. So, but like it's all, it just kind of like, it elevated everything.
Yeah.
Having mentorship coaching and for our construction business and now for our legacy shift as well completely changed the game. And it motivates you, it inspires you. The weekly calls like just fire you up,
Yeah.
and then it always reminds you of what your end goal is. I think we can get too busy, too caught up in the day to day,
Distracted.
distracted, you know, of life, of business, and we lose sight of our goal.
Yeah. It's like that accountability piece that if we don't, because we have that call every week, or
Mhm.
whatever rhythm you have with the group that you find. If you hit a rough week and you kind of almost want to give up, you can be so fired up on what, like our calls are on Tuesday mornings. I leave that call so fired up on Tuesday. But sometimes by like Thursday, other stuff's come up and it's like, when am I going to have time to do all the stuff that I
Mhm.
decided I wanted to do on Tuesday? And you almost kind of want to give up or just you start making excuses. I saw this thing, it was so good. Oh, what was the quote? He basically said, like, the longer you take in between idea and action, that's where all the self-doubt comes in.
Mm.
And so you get the idea, and the longer it takes you to run the play, now
Mhm.
you have all these reasons why you shouldn't, why you can't, why it's not going to work. And so even between a Tuesday and the next Tuesday,
Mm.
we can talk ourselves out of so many things because of the life circumstances that come in.
Yeah.
And so by that next call, it's like, oh, wait, we can still do this. And like, especially in ours, it's a group coaching program. And so what's so valuable about that is like people ask questions we don't know to ask. People share their wins and their hurdles. Someone shares this struggle that they're having that you might be having. And then someone else gets to say like, I had that same thing and this is what I did. And it's just so much encouragement to stay the course and to keep going. And I would say the most fundamental thing to look for is that their values have to align with yours. And so for us, we found a Christian business coach, which has changed the game
Mhm.
because the motivations are the same, especially in the business world, seeking money, chasing money, just trying to get big, make your next 10 million fast.
Mhm.
Like how many of those kinds of coaches you see? And like, that's not our heart in this. Like,
Yeah.
yes, we want financial freedom, but ultimately we want to serve people. We want to help people at the highest level.
Right.
And so having a coach that's aligned with our values, that we're not just chasing money at the expense of running over people just
Yeah.
to get the money out of their wallet. That's not at all what this is. Like, we want to help people. And so that helps us to keep that vision ahead of us. And remember also, when we get discouraged, like, think about all the people that aren't going to be helped because you're quitting or because you want to
Mm.
give up. And so it just kind of helps keep that, like, keep your vision in check, and especially keeping you aligned. I know, like, those times when we haven't been on the call together, but one of us is, then I, like, if I'm on it because you're out busy, then I try to catch you up, and I'm like, and then they said this and they said this. And
Yeah.
like, my fire gets on you and we're all excited about it. Or I'm like, okay, you don't need to watch the whole thing, but like, watch this section.
Mm-hmm.
This section was really cool. And so I try to, like, even distill the calls into, like, what's most helpful for you. Cause I know, like, it's harder for you to get the time to watch them. But it just unites us even more to remember where we're going and all those different perspectives about different opportunities, and try this and try that. And this is a cool thing we're seeing. And people are having success with this thing, and try it this way. And it's literally changed everything.
Yeah. It's the biggest unlock in business to
Mhm.
go to the next level and to just continue to grow. I think too often we can get comfortable
Yeah.
running a business. Like, do
Yeah.
you think you can get, or you have to like reinvent the wheel? Like, it's like almost like too late. You know, it's like you kind of doing your thing, making good money, but then it's like maybe you hit a dip and you're like, oh shoot, or like you see like AI changing the game or different systems, or this younger company coming in that completely does it way better, way faster, way smarter, and you're like, oh wait, let me reinvent this wheel, and then it's like you're trying to like get back on the wheel and try to like push it, but it's like way too hard, and then it's like you almost like where it takes you way too long to get there. I think having that support, it's you're always staying fresh. You're always staying in that growth mindset.
Yeah.
Because we get too comfortable.
And we put the ceiling on
Yeah,
ourselves. We're our
I
own
think that
limitation.
is right, girl.
Right.
Yes,
It's your mindset. And
bust
so, like,
out.
when we're like, oh, look at what I've achieved, or like what you're saying, we settle. Okay, this is good enough. Like, I'm paying my bills, or
Yeah,
we helped someone last week. Cool.
I will never. I won't be able to.
Yeah, I can't do that. You can't do that in my
You
town,
don't
or you can't
have
do that with my background.
that mindset in a group. Well, if you
You come
do,
in with it,
if you do in your group one, then you need to get another coach.
you need to get out.
Like,
Yeah.
because you shouldn't have that mindset. It should
Yeah.
always be like, no, we can do it. It doesn't matter the market. It doesn't matter where we're at. Like, we can, because your only cap is you.
Yeah.
Like, you're the ceiling.
Mhm.
So it's time to remodel that ceiling. It's time to like, we're going up.
Second level,
Second level.
third level.
Doing it.
Yeah. But just having someone that can call those things out in you, or speak those things to you, like, you're we're stuck in our little box of what we know. And so having a different perspective, like, no, do you know the people I see that are doing this? Do you know the people that are doing this over there? And it's just this whole other perspective and way of thinking that will it'll just shatter all the limiting beliefs you have of why it's not going to work, or why you're as far as you'll ever be able to get. And it's been everything.
Yeah.
Game changer.
And then with marriage, I think we don't like have a marriage counselor, but we started going to the marriage conferences, and we were just mega uber, what other word?
Extra.
Super duper intentional
Oh,
about marriage,
yes.
about everything that we did, that we said, what we brought into the marriage.
Yeah.
All the hurts, all the trauma, all that. We were really intentional about getting full healing from that, and then just being on the same page in our marriage. So not necessarily having like but then having support like in our church and stuff for
Yeah.
different couples and different things like that as well.
Well, I think the intentionality of investing in it was the thing. So investing in our coaching program, investing in our marriage. And
Yeah.
so if that's traveling out of state to go to a marriage conference, and now we run one at our church, which is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
But it's making sure, and even YouTube videos, podcasts, like following people, reading books. There's so many people out there with so much wisdom in this area that I just remember when we were really struggling, I was desperate for help and I didn't know where to look.
Mm-hmm.
And so it took us on a journey of getting help and figuring that out. And so now there's so many things that are foundational to us now, that our marriage has truly been rebuilt from the inside out. And there's foundational things now that we had no idea were even a thing back then.
Yeah.
And so it's just getting yourself out into those atmospheres and those environments, getting in those rooms to hear from people ahead of the game, like 20 years down the road that have a marriage that you want, that
Mm-hmm.
you can model yourself after. And then for us, being plugged in our local church, submitted under our pastors, like they've spoken into our marriage so many times over the years, encouraged us, prayed with us, had hard conversations with us, and just finding like mentors in our church community has been huge too. So you need people to talk to about stuff, but not people that are going to gossip or bash your spouse, but people that are going to build you up,
Right.
bring you back together, remind you you can do it. You need people that are for marriage that you're talking to about it, not
Yeah.
just gossiping with a coworker or something. It's not husband bashing or wife bashing. It's like, no, this is something I'm actually struggling with, because how many people want to keep that facade that everything's fine? We're doing great. We
Everybody
have no
does, actually.
problems, especially in marriage. Like, why?
Yeah.
And business, I guess. I mean, in every area. We don't like to admit that we're struggling ever. And it's pride. But we don't get the help that we need if we don't ask for it. And so
Mhm.
putting yourself out, building relationships, identifying those people in your world. Maybe it's your parents. Maybe your parents have a great marriage and you can talk to them about it. Maybe they don't. Maybe you don't have examples directly in your life of a healthy, strong marriage, but go find them. And so I think our local church is an amazing place to start to look for healthy marriages, especially God honoring marriages that are on the same path that we want to be on, further down the road, that can just be that mentorship that we need through any season, no matter what we're going through. Because those people now, they were with us in the valley of our marriage, but they're also with us as we're on this new exciting adventure too. And so that's really cool. Just people that are with you for the entire journey.
Yeah.
You cannot do it on your own. You need a community. You need people. You need support.
You can only get so far in business without a mentorship. Somebody that's ahead of you, somebody that's maybe, or just you can like jam with,
Yeah.
talk things out with.
Yeah.
If you're out there by yourself on an island, you're only going to get so far. You're only going to be able to build so much.
You'll get stuck,
You're going
or
to
you'll
get
quit.
stuck, or you're going to stay there, or you'll quit.
You won't grow.
You'll get comfortable.
Yeah.
And then once you get comfortable is when, that's when it kind of all starts to crumble as well too. So same team, same direction, same boundaries, same systems, and same support.
Because you are now one.
That's right.
When you got married, two became one. So it should be the same. Not that we have this, we only talk to the same friend, not like in a weird way. We mean same, like you're on the same page. Everything is us against the world. Like we can do this together.
It's like a song.
It is. That's a great song.
It's a great song.
You want to sing it?
I will spare
Nope.
them. So we just hope that you can take some of these points, or maybe you haven't heard any of them before, or maybe you even haven't even considered any of them. But we hope that you can start just implementing things and putting it into practice. Being on the same team with your spouse is the key to all of this. So maybe you do just at first need to go to a marriage conference. You need to go to a marriage counselor just to get on the same page there first, because without that being strong, your business is not going to be successful if your marriage is on a struggle. So we hope that this encourages you, it sets you on the right path. And maybe you're just starting your business. Hey, implement this stuff now. Write it down now.
Pick some things
and just
do
pick
them.
them and do them, and you will see an insane amount of growth that you will have, not just only in your business, but in your marriage too. You guys will become closer and stronger together, united with a purpose that we truly believe, that we desperately pray for, that every couple finds that purpose that God has for them in this life, that they could go out there and do exactly what God has for them in this life, because there is a plan and a purpose that God has for you as a couple. Hey, well, maybe you don't have anything. Maybe you don't have anywhere, any support. We have that support for you. You can send us a DM and we can have a discovery call where we can see if we will be a good fit together, that we can help you get to the next level. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you next time.